Hi, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor Hamza. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bless you. I didn't watch all of Jay Chris's show. Some of the people that follow my channel follow his channel. He's a popular guy on YouTube with over 1,000 followers. I guess it's not. There's people with millions, but whatever. And I just started watching a little bit, and this is the Spiritual Scientist channel, so I came up with the observation about how time was speeding up. That's totally all, my theory, because I related it to crystals, and I went on his show, and I explained it to him, and then I guess some people from the show watch his show, and Mile High Scribs, just mentioned it to him. So then he gave him credit for the idea when I actually talked about it, and I was the one that actually discovered it and came up with it and did the formula and the math and described it to him. And then I guess maybe you watched my show, so that's how he's talking. But that's what he's using for his show. And you know what? I'm not mad at all. So, I do these publicly, and this is, for your help. So spreading knowledge is good. I'm not like a jerk. So I just wanted to, let you know that, that credit should go to me, the people who watch my channel, so they don't get confused. That this is all original content, and then if it gets disseminated and vibrates throughout the universe and you hear it again or whatever, that's cool, not totally against it at all. But I just thought I'd mention it because I do a lot of memes, I do a lot of content, and it comes out, everything pretty much it comes out of my mouth is brand new. And people go, oh, I can't replace that. Where'd that come from? Well, and that's happened to me my whole life. Like I'm out with people and I'm talking, and they like, I never heard that joke before. I'm like, really? I just made it. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I was like, I just made it. And so instantaneous thought is kind of different for everybody, and I'm used to it. So I don't have an agenda, but I just thought I'd mention about well, I guess a couple things I thought to talk about. One of them was I got a flat tire, and which sucked, and then I had to get a new tire, obviously, and then I got towed to the dealership, and then when it got towed, I don't think it got scratched when it got towed, and then the dealership was telling me it was scratched already and the windshield was scratched. It could have been, but it makes you almost feel illogical for things that you remember, because you're like, did I remember it this way or did I remember it that way? Because you get used to that thought process. So I was like, I don't want to fight them because maybe I'm wrong. It makes you doubt a little bit. So you have to like stay in your lane, and that is the mantra for this episode, as it were. So that horse that in the Kentucky Derby that didn't stay in his lane, and he went out of the lane, and he didn't win the race. So I think that's an important lesson. I think we should all stay in our lanes. I think you should keep if you're doing a channel, keep your information original as possible, and do your own thing, but being, with the feeling of love and that energetic highness, I can understand people using, things from me and things from those. But, what I'm saying is try to stay in your lane, just stay in that lane, and you'll be okay. But everybody, bounces across each other. Especially, I do a lot of cutting edge new thought. So, hopefully it's getting disseminated. Hopefully people are, understand things. But, like that horse, stay in that lane, stay in that lane. He would have won the race, right? So that's important. And who gets the laurels at the end? The victor. The victor gets the laurel. The victor gets the victor's crown. So that should be in everybody's mind, right? Anyway, I thought, I was going to talk about a little bit. I thought about maybe the next video, actually 2 videos from now, I'm going to do I think a live video. The one thing I talked about before, if you're new to my channel, I had this dream, and I prayed before I dreamed. And I said that before. If you want to have an open dream, pray before you dream, and God will answer you in your dream. Like, you'll wake up like 4 in the morning and be like, oh, and then you'll have the answer, right? In a dream form, you have to interpret it, and you could say, gee, that's my subconscious, whatever. So, I did that, and I had this, and I said, what should I talk about in video for people? What would be, what should I do? And then in the dream, I was getting, somebody's telling me something. I did this, and I talked about it in the other video, and I was like, what is it? What? And they were like, the bulls, 10 bulls, the bulls. Like, I was in a dream. I said, what? I woke up thinking like 10 bulls, and I didn't know, what, so I looked it up in the morning, and I didn't forget, and I looked it up, and it was the 10 bulls of Zen. And what each bull represents is a level of human consciousness. So it's so cool. So I was blown away, because I don't, you could say, gee, subconsciously, I read that, and I've been reading stuff, maybe 30 years ago. Maybe I came up with that. I read it. Could be 40, could have been with me. Could be, 35 years ago. Could have been. But the 10 bulls of Zen. So I was like, oh, and I started, and then I did a video. So if you want to, you could go back and check out the video. But I was thinking maybe in the next video, I'll do that video again. It's pretty cool, because they go through all the different, levels. Anyway, besides my regular job, I do a little bit stand-up comedy in New York. And I also do singing in a couple of rock bands. So that's what I'm trying to do for fun. Because I feel like, just do your thing, just live your life, enjoy it, and do what you have a talent for. And so I think that's, important lesson. But what I was going to say about when I hurt my car and I got the flat tire, was really bothersome. I started, getting a little, angry. I was like, and then I didn't get angry, but then after I picked up the car and it was all scratched up, and I started getting a little, I could feel that anger, but I was separated from it, which is, I don't remember, I haven't felt like angry in a while. I just haven't. I control those things, but I started feeling the anger, but I didn't become a part of it. So it was kind of, a very different experience. And I was like, is this what it feels like as someone, an enlightened person? Am I just separated enough from it that's kind of like, but it's good to feel that, it's good to be part of that too. So then I was like, let's go into that. So I went in my car, and I put on random for a song, and it said, in my iPhone, it burned a lot of music. When I did that, I got music anyway, and it didn't label them correctly, and this one said 11 track 11. So I said, I gotta hear this, and I played it, and then it was like the heaviest metal stuff, like it was Lamb of God, like it was really heavy. And, I started getting in the anger part of it, and then I've been, then you get into that a little bit, but I let it go, I think through the higher mind, maybe that could be translated into, in the psychic sphere, and somebody could, download that. So I try to, separate myself from that. And I said, no, I'm not interested in getting towards the anger thing, but I could still like get to it. And it's not a bad thing. Like Jesus got angry, right? If you get the righteous anger, watch out, just like back up, that's not good. You don't want to get to that level. Righteous anger is, you're coming from like Thor from the heavens with that like lightning bolt, and you're into that. But anyway, thought I'd be a little more personable this time. Other than that, there's certainly a lot to talk about what's going on, and I'm not going to get into details this time, but just thought I'd say that I know I mentioned before, like I said, about time being a speeding up, because I came up with that because as I talked about my other videos about the crystals, 780,000 times per millisecond they were vibrating, and they went down to 36,700 per second. So what that would mean is we're actually, and I said speeding up before, but what I'm going to say is we're actually vibrating faster, which is different from speeding up in time so much. So I would go back and say, it's more of a, you can't tell if it's time. I mean, it might be affecting time a little bit, but it's more vibrational frequency. And that's what's cool, because that's what we, if you're like a light worker and all that, that's what you're, that was the goal, right? So what I was going to say is, like, in the 60s, they were trying to get to the next level, like Jim Morrison said, like, break out through to the other side. They were trying to use psychedelics. They were trying to use, meditation. They were giving it, their all their power, to try to figure it out, to see what it was. And now, without drugs, and without, these fake things, we're doing it in reality, which is, quite amazing. So everybody, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's what it's, that's what it's about. It's about the ascension of mankind, turn into our light bodies, being, higher vibrational beings, that's what it's about, so for, all that struggle, all that, is learned, and this, generation, or us, or me, you, a lot of us have taken that into our heart, and you push forward, and, that's what it's about. It's not about anything else, everything else is a secondary goal. That should be it for a lot of people, is the ascension, in finding that commonality, finding that, love within the brotherhood of man, and coming out and speaking your truth. That's what's really about, right? So I just thought I'd talk about that a little bit this time, instead of talking so much about science, because that's, I think, an important thing that we all need to, get into that, and then you'll be more of yourself. And when you're more yourself, you'll like thinking more, holistically. So, and pregnant pause. So thanks so much, for watching. There's so many cool things going around. I'm excited you're here with me. And check out my next video. I'll try to redo the 10 Bulls of Zen. Although I think the first time I did it pretty well. Maybe I'll come up with something else. But thanks for, tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Bye.